Welcome to today's video, guys. Today is a Helldivers video regarding the new patch that just dropped, boys. I'm excited to bring this video to you today. Alright, so an overview of today's patch is it's primarily to do with the exosuit and the planetary hazards, which both of these are very needed in my opinion. The exosuit is also important, but I feel like the planetary hazards is more the important thing for me. So some of the things that they cover, I put it up on the screen so y'all can see it too. Is planetary hazards in terms of the spawn rate for the tremors, meteor showers, volcanic activity, fire tornadoes, ion storms. They will spawn a lot less frequently now, which is definitely much needed because it was a cool thing when they added it. But I feel like the day they added it, like 7 times in 130 or what is it, 40 minutes they give you, like 7 times the meteor shower or the tremor was occurring. Like almost every other minute a fucking tremor was hitting or a meteor shower was hitting. Now for the meteor shower, this is definitely an important one because this is another gripe. Like they're reducing the explosion radius, which is very much important. They're reducing the damage slightly, the velocity slightly. The color has changed slightly to try to make them easier to spot, which in my opinion wasn't really necessary because I want to say they were like a bright blue fucking fireball, you know? Like it was bright blue. Now for volcanic eruptions, they've reduced the explosion radius and the rock velocity, which this one, I personally haven't had too much problems with the volcanoes and being killed by them. The meteor showers was way more often for me. But I will also say that I wasn't battling on planets too frequently with volcanoes. But I definitely have experienced a fair amount. And I was definitely killed far less by the volcano eruptions than I was the fucking meteor showers, bro. Next thing are like the bot patrols slash like bug patrols. They've reduced the incidence of patrols spawning on players, so like them popping up on you, which happens too fucking much, but so thank God that they've done that. Like they've reduced exosuits no longer destroy themselves when firing a rocket while turning. This was so important because when the fucking exosuit first dropped, I would fucking explode, and like the first time I was like, oh, I guess I just shot it. That bug was like too close, so it just like chain reaction got me. But no, like no matter turning left, right, whatever way you fire it, and it's a straight shot from the point of being fired. So it doesn't work how it should when it's coming out of the tube, so it couldn't possibly hit it. It literally starts the missile inside of the exosuit, basically. So it hits the exosuit's like exterior, like the walls of the entity, the nodes. So it would detonate it and kill your whole exosuit. Melee functionality will continue even when slightly damaged, which is another big one because when I first started playing it, like I thought you could melee, but after, like every other time after I tried, like obviously I must have been damaged at some capacity because I couldn't do it anymore. So I didn't even realize it was even a melee was a function of the exosuit. I thought it was at first, but like I said, I only ever got to do it like a couple times when the exosuit first dropped. Now here are some crash fixes. Okay, so alt tabbing in full screen mode, that definitely has to suck for like PC players because I play games on PC, so I know I alt tab all the time no matter the game I'm playing. Like it could just be to simply check something, but especially if I'm recording a video or streaming, like I have 2 monitors, so it actually makes it a little bit easier. But before, when I didn't, like I'd have to alt tab out just to like check, have some way to know that like everything's still going, you know, going according to plan. Apparently changing the voiceover language would cause crashing. PS5 boot issue. I never really had any issues with the booting. Using a stim inside of an exosuit while wielding a grenade, once again, was nothing that I particularly had any experience with. When joining an ongoing mission, this one, me personally, it wouldn't, I mean, I guess it is technically a crash, but like I would have the issue where a lot of the time it would say the game was already over, it was unavailable when I tried to join a match. Or I would just constantly be sitting in the connecting to ship thing. Or it would simply like an error has occurred with your application, blah blah blah. You know how that goes. Another one is when idling on the title screen, which I've never had any issues, but I've also never necessarily idled on the title screen either, so I can't really speak on that. So more important, I guess you could title them under like quality of life, or they're not super important fixes. It's not really a big deal in my opinion, at least. But so shots from the arc-based weapons such as the Blitzer shotgun, the AC-8 arc thrower stratagem now count towards shots fired and shots hit stats, which it's cool. I'm glad they got it fixed, but like me personally, I never gave a fuck about the post-mission stats. Like it really doesn't matter. Like I don't even, is there a scoreboard? Like, I don't think there's even a scoreboard, so what the hell's the point? Like, I get you want it to be, like, accurate, but it's pretty much relatively accurate down to a T almost, except for, like, obviously, before arc weapons, like, you'd have an issue with your stats being tracked, but, like, that's not going to throw your stats off that much. And they fixed network desync issues with downed automaton ships. I never had any issues with that either. That sounds probably like something that would be pretty annoying, though. And then they fixed Elgato Stream Deck foot pedal support, which is pretty cool because I use an Elgato to capture my videos and stuff. I don't have a foot pedal or anything. I have the basic Elgato, just the 4K capture one. But at least now, so when you're using your foot pedal, you don't have to worry about there being any issues there. That's a pretty important one, I feel like, for streamers, content creators, things like that, which would help keep the lifeline of their game going. Here comes some big, the known issues, things that they either couldn't fix before they had to get this patch out, or they feel like it may be as a result of this patch, like conflicting things that go on. So first one is various issues involving friend invites and crossplay. This is a pretty big one. I feel like that they really kind of need to focus on, in my opinion. Obviously, just a little old guy making videos, but never created the game before. But like, it's fun being able to queue up with randoms, but it's like you meet these people, you become like good friends with them, like you want to you want to hell dive with them more, but you can't add them, like, and then if you do, you accept their friend request, it doesn't go through at all for some reason. Like, here, let's just see real quick, boys. Let me just see my social. I added Brain Bread. I've added all of these people. I'm pretty sure I've accepted their friend request. I can hit accept, nothing will happen. I can spam it a million. Oh, see, I hit decline and it's still there. I didn't mean to, but I've tried to accept it multiple times. And then whenever I do that, this happens. Sometimes it'll show my friends list, show them all offline or whoever's online. But if I go to my friend request, sometimes just going to it, but if I go to my friend request, hit accept on any of them, this is the results of it. Like, and I can go to my little like battle map, kind of the fucking computer, whatever you want to call it, in the front, and it'll show that I like social. I have one friend on apparently, but I can never view it. That's a pretty big one. It's pretty frustrating for me because it's like when I stream, like, I like to play with the viewers, so, but I can't play with anybody on this because I can't fucking add anybody. I can't get past the point of getting a friend request to them or them getting one to me. And then it's like some of those are from, can't even see them anymore, but like I think like 14 days. I remember seeing one of them said 14 days, like Jesus. So like cross-platform friend invites might not show up in the friend request tab. Players cannot unfriend other players befriended via friend code, which I've seen that literally on all 3 of the patch videos I've done. That's been a problem, but that one's not as important, I guess, because like I can't even accept people. So who the fuck am I going to be unfriending if I can't accept anybody, Players cannot unblock players that were not in their friends list beforehand, which I don't really understand. Players cannot befriend players with Steam names shorter than 3 characters. Now that seems weird. It seems like such a simple fix, the last one. But like I said, I've never made a game, so I really don't know what goes into that. But what the hell, like, you can't add somebody whose name is shorter than 3 characters. So like mine is 4, so I barely make it. But if I just had it as like Cam or Bam or something like that, nobody would be able to add me on my PC. But alright, let's get to the next important set of things. Some small things. Helipod steering close to large or important objects is currently not functioning as intended, resulting in steering being disabled in a large area around the objective. I've had this issue not even being close to the objective or whatever, where I can't fucking control my helipod at all. Like, I just have to go straight down. I can't do that little bit of maneuvering to the left or the right or up or down. Online features not functioning when console language is set to Ukrainian, which is pretty important, I feel like, because that's a whole large base of people that are cut out because of that simple thing. Like, and it, like, even if they spoke English, if I was somebody who was Ukrainian and I lived in Ukraine or whatever, lived wherever, I would easily choose my native language as the console's language rather than my second language, even if I knew it better than my first. It's just something you're comfortable with. So that's a pretty important fix. I feel like that they need to get, but that's the first time I've seen that one listed on this list. So hopefully they can get that fixed pretty soon. Players may be unable to select loadout when joining a multiplayer via activity card. Like I said, I don't use the activity cards on PlayStation anyways. I've never used them for anything really other than the news, like information on games. So that one's not a big issue for me. Planetary liberation reaches 100% at the end of every defend mission. Oh, this one has happened to me. I've gotten confused a couple times because we were close to beating it, and then I'm like, holy shit, you know, we're the last percentage to push it over to liberation. No, we weren't. False dreams. Drowning in deep water with a vitality booster equipped puts Helldiver in a broken state. I've never had that issue. Exosuits will sometimes be delivered in a damaged or broken state. I have had that. I've had like the ship drop it off and it blows up before it even hits the ground. Like, I don't know, like, you know, stratagem beam might attach itself to an enemy but will be deployed to its original location. Yeah, that's another one, like, because obviously, like, it's working. The whole idea is it's working off that fucking ball, emitting the sequence, the code, the frequency, the laser itself, whatever you want to say. It's tracking, and it's tracking that particularly. So unless the idea is that, oh, it grabs a snapshot of where it's first deployed, which, I mean, you could say, but it makes more sense that it's actively the shot or the gun itself is tracking where that thing is and delivering the payload on that target. So that is something that they should fix. That's like a very minor thing. It's not a super big deal, but like I've had points where it attaches to something and it's like perfect and I wasn't even intending it to. It's like in the center of all of them, like moving, but the shot will hit where it initially like shot the beam up from. So that's a little annoying, but like I said, they could just argue that it doesn't just track the thing, it snapshots the location of where the signal first emits. But that's not really a big deal. I haven't had this issue, but apparently like pink artifacts may appear in the sky when setting off large explosions. I've seen the logo pop up randomly, but I haven't seen like it floating or whatever. Maybe that's what they mean. But it wasn't even after a big explosion. Okay. Text chat box display is obstructed by cinematic letterboxing during extraction. So, like I said, that one was in the last known issues. It's obviously not a big issue, clearly. Sometimes the player's loadout customizations were reset after restarting the game. This is the biggest one on this known issue, other than the Ukrainian language one, for me. Okay, that and the friend shit on the known issues. The Ukrainian language, the friend problems, and this one, the fucking loadouts. Because I bet you I go there right now and my shit is not what it's supposed to be. Here we go, we're gonna see. I'm gonna take this off my screen, boys. Every time I have to, yep. The basic gun, which I don't run. I actually would usually run this shoddy, but I've started using this one since I've unlocked it. I run this, my frags, I bet you, what is it? My voice pack and everything's probably changed. My body type too. Oh no, it's still on lean. Voice pack set to random now. Emote, yep, set to the basic one. Victory pose. The victory pose never changes and the other things, but always the gun loadout's changing, which is annoying as fuck for me because I'll just, you know, I'll be done doing whatever I'm doing, hop on time to stream, and I fucking go to play Helldivers and I want to just jump straight into the match and find a match, and I hit the ground and I realize, I got the worst shit in the game. Like, that one is so annoying for me, in my opinion. Like, it seems like such a small issue. Obviously, compared to a lot of these other ones, like the issue with the being set to Ukrainian and not working, that's way more important. And then the friend platform is obviously more important, in my opinion. But this one is definitely one of the more bigger issues that they need to fix. And it's been doing it since the last patch. So, and they didn't have it listed in the known issues in the last patch. So clearly they didn't have any idea or any, you know, any intention. I mean, they don't have an intention of doing any of these other issues, but they just had no idea that this would happen. But it's definitely a big issue for me. But that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. We'll be live today, probably for most of the afternoon, and then tomorrow we will go live at 2 or 3. Same thing for the day after. But I appreciate y'all taking the time to watch. I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope this was informational and you learned something, or this helped you in some way with your Helldivers experience. And I appreciate y'all tuning in. Like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.